2005, I am going through some of the best movies for each year that I have been alive. And in 2005, I was 15.
Will's doing it.
And I know this is not every movie that came out in 2005. These are just some of my faves that I want to talk about. Let's begin 2005 with Batman Begins. Christopher Nolan took over the Batman series, and he does a really, really good job. Obviously, we know Dark Knight comes out in a couple of years from now, but in 2005, it began with Batman Begins. And it's such an interesting way to start up an origin story. Like, we all know how Batman kind of got his way, but like, we usually don't see him going to train. We just see his parents get killed, and then you see him being Batman. Like, I liked seeing him kind of grow and fight and work with Morgan Freeman, Lucius Fox in this movie to, get his gear, all this different stuff. Like, it built slower, which kind of worked for me a little better than just jumping straight to Batman. So when he becomes full-on Batman, it's like, oh, sweet. Christian Bale is great. He looks great. He has a great chin. The voice is a bit much sometimes, where he's really like, he doesn't need to do that much, but it worked for what it was. You have Michael Caine being a great Alfred. He does a great job. Mr. Wayne. And just a great start to what becomes a really, amazing sequel. Not the best ending to a trilogy, but no big deal. Get the next movie, Dark Knight, which everyone knows Dark Knight was the top of these, but you had to begin somewhere. Next up, one of the funniest comedies out there, you have 40-Year-Old Virgin with Steve Carell, just bringing so much to this and just having an amazing cast. I will never not laugh at this movie for the rest of my life. So many quotable lines, just so good. And they really waxed his chest. All that stuff with the Kelly Clarkson and yelling and all that stuff, he really did that. That's why it was so authentic and really, and he has the lines on his chest the rest of the movie. I just love that movie. Steve Carell is an absolute gift to the world. Every time he's in something, he's just amazing. All right, off to a galaxy far, far away, we have Star Wars Episode 3. Prequels were not my favorite, still really aren't my favorite. Some of these are very cheesy, but out of the prequels, Episode 3 is, I guess, the best. I think they rush Anakin going to the dark side way too fast. It goes from, hey, maybe do some dark side things, straight to kill kids. What? It needed to build more. There's a lot of things that needed to happen with the prequels that did not. And obviously then people because to people growing up, even like after my time, really think of the prequels as like an original trilogy. Like, I grew up with the original trilogy being out before these came out, so I kind of knew those before. But if people are watching from the beginning, and this is their original trilogy, so I kind of get the love and hate people have for it. But the third one's good-ish. You have Anakin and Obi-Wan's fight at the end, which is probably one of the highlights of the whole movie. And Star Wars is, of course, one of my favorites. I'm a big sci-fi guy, so Star Wars is great. There's always hit or misses, and I feel like I'd rather see things in the world that doesn't have to do with like all the Jedi stuff all the time. So I think some of the TV shows are doing a pretty good job with it now, but Episode 3 is okay. Pretty good to okay to the best of the three prequels. I'll just say that. Next up, we have Sin City. Really, really interesting, stylized kind of movie. Every harsh black and white with pops of color. Very comic booky, very dour, very like, oh, everything is terrible. Everything's black and white. There is no color except for here or there. It's a crime action drama with a lot of interesting choices. I haven't seen it in a very long time, but I do remember liking it in this era because the early 2000s were very like angsty, gritty, and all this kind of stuff was kind of like the thing to do. So I appreciate it for what it is. I don't know if I'll run back to it anytime soon, but I remember coming out and being like, this is sick, when I was, 14, 15 years old. So, take that as you will. Another great comedy, we have Wedding Crashers, Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson. Vince Vaughn's talking really fast. You have Owen Wilson going, oh, wow. Rachel McAdams is in this as like the love interest. She's wonderful as always. She's always amazing. And just a lot of fun. What if two guys just crashed different weddings and, they had a whole weekend about it, and Christopher Walken's in it. And Bradley Cooper's in this as a as the jerk boyfriend of Rachel McAdams, and Owen Wilson's like, "Oh man, what are you doing?" Oh, that was terrible. Don't listen to my impressions. But yeah, it's one of those movies that you have seen, and you're like, if it's on, you're like, yeah, I'll watch this. You have Will Ferrell in it doing just a really fun job of just being like, "Ma, the meatloaf." You can't beat that. Just one of those movies you'll turn, if it's on TV, you'll sit and watch no matter what's going on. And last on my list for 2005, we have Hitch. Will Smith just being as charming as he can be. Eva Mendes being as beautiful as she is. Him kind of being like a pickup artist, telling guys what to do, what to say. And he's, just kind of giving guys some extra confidence, some game. I don't think he was being too sleazy like some pickup artists like can be, I'm sure. But, he does his thing. Kevin James is in it being like, the doofy kind of, oh, he's the fat guy. Haha. He can't ever get a girl, but when Hitch helps him, he can. I'm kind of, that whole being you're a fat guy so everything is harder for you kind of thing is very played out and very lame now, I think. But this movie is charming. Kevin James, he does his king and queen thing where he does the hands in the pockets, But it's just a fun movie. Like he's a pickup artist who then falls in love himself and he has to use his own game, which sometimes even doesn't even work for himself. 2005, what a year, what a moment. If you like this, I have a playlist going of all the years from 1990 all the way up to today. And if you please subscribe, I would really appreciate it. I love making these, and I hope you guys enjoy watching them. What was your favorite movie from 2005? Leave it down below. Have a good one.